And let's see how bad this PlayStation 5 is that had to endure a house fire. Oh, wow. That's pretty nasty. Look at this. It's melted there. Wow. Big time melted here. Like this whole thing is melted. This is all melted right here. This fan cage is bent down. Looks like most of the heat was concentrated over here. This didn't come with plates. I've got an idea for that, so we'll need to fix that, but I mean, do I dare try and plug this thing in? Or should I just take it apart? Let's just plug it in and see if it works. This video is sponsored by BW100. More on them in a minute. There we go. This thing smells horrible, and there's a lot of, I don't know, some sort of coating on this, probably mostly smoke, and I don't want to get all over my hands. Now let's plug it in and see if it'll work. Let's see if there's power to the disk drive. There's actually power to it. Okay, let's try the power button. Here we go. The fan actually spins? I thought it was like totally melted in there. Okay, much better than I thought. And are we gonna get something on the screen even? Maybe? We even have something on the screen. That's crazy. This thing smells even worse now that the fan is on and blowing air. I'm not gonna leave it on very long. I do wanna see if the disk drive works though. I can't believe this thing works so far. Disk goes in. The disk drive even works? Oh, we lost our signal though. Okay, let's get the disk back out now that we know it works. Okay, maybe just the HDMI port. I'm not really sure why the signal keeps dropping out. So let's get this turned off, figure out what we need to do here. So we definitely need this piece. We need this piece that's all melted. This part of the case, yeah, it's melted here too. What about the top side? The top side, so this piece right here, we can see if maybe we can save. But I think we just need to get this thing torn apart, and then we can have a look at the inside and see what all needs to be done in there as well. I am looking forward to see the condition of the heatsink and also the liquid metal on the APU. I feel like we may have some surprises coming up. It looks like the warranty sticker actually is intact, so nobody's been into this before. It looks like we almost have a little corrosion on this screw over here, so hopefully there's not any water damage inside this. I feel like there might be, but also it does turn on and work, so I still can't believe that. So this plastic piece right here should pop up, but I feel like maybe it's like welded itself to the rest of it. Yeah, I think it has. Come on. Yep. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this piece right here just melted into the other piece. Crazy. Okay, now off with the cage over the fan. Look at that. You can see just how gross that's gotten. That heatsink is discolored right there. Hopefully these connectors aren't brittle or anything. No, they're okay. Let's get the fan out now. Oh boy. It's totally stuck down. Okay, got it. Yeah, probably this metal got hot and kind of welded itself down onto the plastic. That's what it looks like. So the fan, there's a lot of gunk on it, but really not in too bad a condition. The bearing is a little bit rough. I can feel it when it's spinning, but not too bad. Okay, and our first little look at the board. The board definitely has some soot on it. Okay, and here we go. Come on! There we go. It is a little crunchy. Holy cow, look at that. So much black soot on here. This heatsink is just totally black. I can't, like, these connectors are just totally black too. I can't believe how well this thing has survived under these circumstances. Most of the time, I think PlayStation 5s are a lot more fragile than like the Xbox Series X. But this one is pretty tough. Let's see what it looks like under the drive. I mean, it looks like it got pretty wet, but I don't know. We'll see once we get this metal plate off. I will have to take this disk drive apart too and have a look at the inside, but I am impressed that it's actually working. Let's see how hard this metal piece is going to be to pull up. Oh, not too bad. All right, let's have a look. How bad is the board? Okay. Let's see, on the plate we got a little bit of evidence of liquid damage. Wow, really not that bad though. See how hard this board is going to be to pull up now. You can hear it peeling away. Okay, good so far. This is difficult to remove. I'm not sure why though. Okay, ready? Here we go. All right. So part of the reason it's hard to remove is because this is one of the first versions that's got all of this extra thick thermal paste along with this metal pad here. And surprisingly, the APU actually doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of a dry spot. Probably the part that looks the most damaged is the part with the CMOS battery over here. Although these guys don't look the best either. Overall, the board on this really isn't too bad. Let's deal with this board in a minute. I want to remove this plate and see how bad the heat sinks are. And actually, I might as well just remove this whole plate and heatsink assembly. Assuming I can get it out of here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see how bad it is. Whoo! That doesn't look great, but still could be worse. This heatsink is not plugged, but it doesn't look good at all. This one down here isn't too bad either, but you can see it is starting to build up some debris here. And this too, this is starting to get like kind of some corrosion going on there. So I think the best thing is going to be just to replace this heatsink and metal plate with a good one before we put this thing back together. Let's take a quick look at the power supply. See the condition of that. And it's a little dirty there, but other than that, it's really not too bad. So we can clean that off. Let's decide what we're going to do with this board. It really isn't in too bad a condition other than these spots right here on the front and back, and then also this right here could use some cleaning too. I think I've got an idea for this board. What better way to get something done that you don't want to do than have someone else do it? I'm going to send this over to Robert on the Restores channel. He specializes in deep cleaning, so I'm going to have him clean this, and then I'll put the footage in so you can see how he does it.
Let's get some IPA out here. Start trying to wipe off this smoke stain. Let's get this battery out of the way. Some of this is coming off nice and easy, mostly like on the green parts. But there's other parts of this that are being really difficult, like the board itself is stained. So we're just going to do the best we can. Okay, let's get the other side. See, parts like this are really nice and satisfying. Unfortunately, not all of the board is coming quite as clean. Like, it's kind of hard to see on the camera probably, but you can see definitely in the orange parts of this, the staining that is just remaining. Oh yeah. This is definitely satisfying to see this corner where it was so bad becoming clean. Most of this here on the board itself is actually coming up pretty nice. Unfortunately, that chip there just isn't. So it's gonna still look pretty bad. Alright. If Steve wants it better, he can do it himself.
Alright, and after cleaning, it looks pretty good, although looks like Robert kind of missed a spot over here, but you know, it's hard to find good help these days. I'm kidding. That basically doesn't come off at all, so no worries there. Next, I want to make sure we get these ports nice and clean. I didn't ask Robert if he cleaned them, but I'm going to clean them again just to make sure. Now this video is sponsored by BW100, but I also just use it on a regular basis. So I'm going to use some of this in here, and then just give it a good brush with the toothbrush. One of the nice things about BW100 is that it's not flammable and it evaporates really fast. So I'm not worried about using it around any motherboards or anything like that, because it'll get in there and clean this thing up, and then it'll evaporate and it'll be like it was never there. I'm going to soak one of these cleaning swabs with BW100. Then I'm going to use that to clean out that port as well. I could use like a cotton bud, but those sometimes leave behind little hairs, so I don't want to have those get caught in here. So the other thing about BW100 that's really nice is it's in the aerosol spray can. So this can spray down into areas that you wouldn't be able to get like a cotton bud or Q-tip. So that's really nice, because I'd really have to shove a cotton bud in here to really clean these things. And then the more you do that, the more you're likely to get, you know, some of the little hairs caught in stuff. So use a little more BW100 in this HDMI port. So make sure it's as clean as we can get it. And then I'm going to clean the pins on the back too. I use BW100 a lot when I'm doing like analog stick cleanings, because sometimes you can just use it to clean the analog sticks and that will fix the stick drift. It doesn't fix it if it's like, you know, totally worn out and broken inside, but it does work for a lot of them, especially if they're just dirty. Okay, I feel like that is looking pretty good. If you want to get some of this BW100, I'll leave a link right in the description that will take you right there. Now, the liquid metal doesn't look too bad, but there is this spot over here that looks a little dry. So I'm going to use this. It's kind of like a Q-tip that comes with the liquid metal. It's not a Q-tip, but it looks kind of like that. I'm going to use that to rub pretty hard on the APU, and that should rub off any oxidation and help this liquid metal flow over the whole surface of the APU. All right, and normally I would put extra on here, but I think we're going to have enough on here, and I'll show you why. I'm going to use this plate and heatsink because I know it's new and good. And as you can see, there's a lot of liquid metal on the heatsink right here, so I'm not going to put any more on the APU because we should have plenty of it here. Now that that's all done, let's start building this thing. I'm going to be using parts from a donor PS5 that I've got laying around the shop here. There was one from one of my videos and it was not fixable. So I'm going to use those parts to turn this Housefire PS5 into a regular PS5. And even though I got that case all out, I do need to clean up this power supply before I put it in there. Okay, and that's good enough. And I'm going to use the donor top plate as well, just because that's also in really nice condition. And it's almost time to install the disk drive, but I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this disk drive because it doesn't look great on the outside. And I'm not sure, like, I feel like maybe I should put a different disk drive in here because like all the soot and stuff on the outside, it doesn't smell great. And I mean, it's not like this is going to smell perfect anyway, because there is still a little bit of residue, you know, on the board and various other places, but This is just so bad. So I'm thinking what I might do is take the guts from this one and put it into a different shell at least. I'm guessing the inside of this doesn't look too bad, but I think we need to take it apart and figure that out. Just have this one screw here and then the two screws hidden underneath, of course. Can't make it easy. So now this should pull up, and it does. There we go, and that pulls off of there. Now this should also pull off. Okay, there we go. And there we go. So let's get rid of this old smoky case. And we'll replace it with this nice, shiny, semi-new case. But let's have a look inside this first. I want to make sure there's no smoke damage on the lens or any of the other parts in here. So far, it actually looks really good, but since we're already this far in here, might as well check it. And that looks really good inside, actually. I am going to go ahead and just clean that laser. Now the board, though, could use a little bit of cleaning, so I'm going to do just a quick wipe down with some IPA and a cotton bud. Yeah, that's looking better already. Look at all that coming off of my cotton bud. It doesn't look like there's any liquid damage or anything down in here, which is nice. So after this cleaning, it should be in pretty good shape. So let's get this installed into the new case. Here we go. We're going to put this in first. We'll flip it over and put all the screws in. That looks much better though. The disk drive is all back together with all the screws in. Let's get it installed onto the PlayStation 5. Oh, but I need to clean that connector. Let's do that real quick. Make sure that connector is in good condition. And here we go with the top plate, or the top plastic, the top case plastic. All right, there we go. Man, that looks good. And I'm also going to install the fan out of the donor PS5. Now I got to get all the case screws in, put this plastic piece over here, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the plates. There we go. So for the plates on this, since purple is Tronic's wife's favorite color, I decided to get some transparent purple plates from a company who I can't name because they turned me down for a sponsorship years ago, and I'm still a little bit bitter. D-brand. There we go. All right, that looks okay. Let's see how this looks though. All right, and there we go. Not too bad. Pretty decent for a company that doesn't have a name. D-brand. So the other thing they sent was a piece to go on this front glossy piece that will also make it look like it's transparent. So I'm gonna get that installed and then we'll see how this looks when I'm done. Looks like it goes on like that. All right, let's give it a try. They sent a card that had instructions for this, but who needs instructions, you know? It's just a sticker, right? It'd be as easy as putting stickers on Lego. I mean, I'm basically a pro at this, you can tell. Good. All right, and what do we think? Yeah, that's really not too bad. As much as I hate to say it, D-brand did a pretty good job on this. It would have been better if they would have made their own plastic, transparent, glossy piece to put on here, but you know, it's still decent for a brand that wouldn't sponsor my channel. But will it start up after all this work? Let's find out. Okay, we have disk drive power, machine power, we've got a blue light, that's good so far. I can hear and feel the fan. Let's see if we get something on the screen. All right, we already got something on the screen. Let's get a disc put in and see if it'll play a disc. Takes it in nicely. Okay, it recognizes it. Spinning up normally. And here we go. Don't forget to check out BW100 by going to the link in the description if you like this type of video and want to see Robert clean an entire PS5 that had cockroaches in it. I'll put a link for that video up on your screen now so you can go hang out with Robert and see how it turned out. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.